When we think about staying independent as we get older, our minds usually jump to like these intense workouts or really complicated health plans. But what if the real secret wasn't about pushing harder? What if it was about just being consistent in small, simple ways? So what does that actually look like day to day? Let's dive into a simple daily routine that's designed to protect your ability to thrive after 60.
And this right here, it gets to the absolute heart of the matter. We're not talking about training for a marathon. We're talking about holding on to the basic, fundamental abilities that make up our daily lives. It totally reframes the goal from, performance to simply function.
So, let's just bust this myth wide open, shall we? On one side, you've got this idea that we need to be doing these really intense, demanding exercises to stay strong. But the reality? The thing that really moves the needle is daily consistency. We're talking about small, manageable actions that you can actually stick with. It's such a powerful shift away from short-term, all-out effort to a much gentler, long-term practice.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through 5 key areas. First, we'll look at independence in a whole new light. Then, we'll get practical with daily movement. After that, we'll focus on staying steady and sharp, explore the incredible power of connection, and finally, wrap it all up into one simple daily promise. All right, first things first, let's get on the same page. Because look, before we get into the how, we've got to be crystal clear on the what we're even aiming for. It's time to redefine what true independence really means in our later years.
And just look at what we're talking about here. Real independence isn't about some grand gesture. It's the simple stuff. It's the freedom to get out of a chair without a struggle, to walk across the room without that fear of falling, to carry your own groceries, to think clearly, and to feel connected to the people you love. These are the core abilities we're really focused on preserving.
Okay, so now that we're all on the same page about what we're protecting, let's get practical. We're diving right into the physical foundations of our daily routine, mobility and strength. We're going to start with morning mobility. And listen to this because this is a really big deal. So often it's stiffness, not weakness, that becomes the biggest barrier to getting around. Just think about that for a second. A simple 5 to 7 minutes of gentle movement first thing in the morning can completely change how your body feels for the rest of the day. And look, we're talking so simple here. Things like gentle neck rolls, slow shoulder shrugs, easy hip circles, simple ankle rotations. The goal isn't to stretch as far as you can, it's just to gently wake up your joints and remind them how they're supposed to move. Next up is light strength. Now the big idea here is that after 60, our muscles actually respond best to frequent, low-intensity use. So we're not trying to get exhausted, not at all. We're aiming for maintenance, just enough to keep the muscles we need for everyday tasks ready to go. And the best part? You don't need any fancy equipment. This could be a few squats using a chair for a bit of support, some push-ups against a wall, or even just holding a can of beans in each hand while you're walking around the kitchen. It's these small daily efforts that make a huge difference over time. Okay, so we've got the body moving, but what about keeping you steady on your feet and sharp as a tack? Let's talk about protecting these 2 areas, because they are absolutely vital for feeling confident and in control. Seriously, just pause for a second and ask yourself this. When was the last time you actively practiced your balance? If you're like most of us, the answer is probably never. It's one of those things we totally take for granted until it starts to fade, and it usually happens so quietly we don't even notice. The great news is we can actively retrain it, and you can build this right into your day. We're talking about standing on one leg for a few seconds while you wait for the coffee to brew. Make sure you're near a counter for support. Or maybe walking a straight line heel to toe down a hallway. These simple little acts rebuild that crucial connection between your brain and your body. And that's the real key to preventing falls. And of course, staying independent, it's not just about your body, right? It's about your mind, too. Mental stimulation is all about keeping your mind active, challenged, and engaged. And this supports everything from your memory to your ability to make clear, confident decisions. And just like everything else we've talked about, this should be enjoyable. This is not a test. It's about gentle challenges. Maybe it's reading a chapter of a book, doing a crossword puzzle, writing in a journal, or even just deciding you're going to learn one new thing every single day. It's all about staying curious.
All right, now for the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this might be the one we forget the most, but it is so important. Human connection.
It's so easy to underestimate this, but staying connected is a true pillar of our well-being.
Even a super brief, regular social chat reinforces our sense of purpose. It gives our emotional health a boost. And you know what? It makes us way more resilient when life throws us a curveball.
And again, we are not talking about huge commitments here. It's the small stuff. A quick phone call to a friend, a little chat with your neighbor when you're getting the mail, sharing your morning coffee with your partner. These simple little touch points are what keep us grounded and connected to the world.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together, right? It's time to turn these ideas into something you can actually do. A simple, daily promise you can make to your future self.
Now please, if you take away only one thing from our chat today, let it be this. Do not worry about being perfect. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day, or if some days you can only do a tiny bit. The only goal is to show up. Consistency will always, always win against intensity.
So here you go. This is it, your daily blueprint, all in one place. 5 simple steps that touch on every single aspect of independence we've talked about. A little morning mobility, some light strength, a moment for balance, some mental engagement, and a point of social contact. That's it. That's the whole routine.
And what do you get for all this? What's the big prize? It's not about setting a new record or some impressive feat of strength. No, it's something way more valuable, preserved capability. It's the ability to keep doing the things you love in the life you've built with confidence and with ease.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Looking at this simple blueprint, what is just one small thing you can start with? What's one small promise you can make to your future self starting today?